Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, sending fruit away. Here comes Santa Claus. Oh, must be the Christmas songs, but it was in my head just before I started. His live support was quite appropriate. Anyway, not really going to talk about health. Can't be bothered. Just literally going to jump on to I don't know if anyone's interested in The Matrix. Oh, The Matrix! The Matrix, The Matrix. Oh, would you mean, Harry, the term The Matrix? No, the movie. Because the fourth one's come out, hasn't it? Yesterday. I think it's around the world, the 22nd of the 4th. 12th. And I just watched it today. And now. And did a post on it. And I know there's a lot of, there was a lot of excitement from a lot of people that were expecting great things. But also, there's a lot of, cynicism, disappointment, and expectation that the director, Lana, because the director of the first three, that they've sold out somehow, which I never really believed. But of course they might have done, so I had to watch the movie, and I was excited for the movie, and I wanted to see if they did sell out in the fourth movie. And I'll confirm from my side, it's amazing. Matrix 4 is like as good as Matrix 1, and better than 2 and 3. Although 2 and 3 are good too. It's a return to form for Matrix 4, and, as we know, The Matrix is a documentary series, innit? Especially Matrix 1. Well, Matrix 4 is a complete return to the documentary series of life being plugged in The Matrix. Won't spoil the stories too much, but I think it's by the end of 3, Neo and Trinity get plugged back in, but save the real world from being attacked by the robots, if I'm correct. But they get plugged back in. So we start number 4. I won't give a whole synopsis. They start number 4 with Neo. I won't say what role he plays, but he's plugged into the Matrix again without realizing he's been plugged into the Matrix. He's got a happy life and he's looked up to. Because he's created a computer engineering, a software game called The Matrix, which everyone thinks is fake, including him. But that's part of the deal when he saved the world. The real world that was unplugged from the robot crushing, part of the deal was he got plugged back in without realizing it. So anyway, through a series of synchronicities, coincidences, again, he's unplugged. He goes on a journey where he has to take the choice. Morpheus gives him the red or the blue pill. This time there's a lot more hesitancy because he's so programmed into the blue pill mindset. But eventually he takes the red pill and then begins the journey. I love it for many reasons. And I know, look, love is cheesy, but love is actually the only truth, right, of reality. Love is the only truth. It's the only actual truth of anything. That platitude, love is the only truth, the David Icke book. Infinite love is the only truth. It's kind of true. And look, there's a lot of films that are about love, and it's beautiful because everyone can relate because they've been in love and had their heart broken too, and been in love and a feeling of being loved. Well, in The Matrix 4, the relationship and the love that Neo feels towards Trinity is brought to the fore, and it's highlighted that they become so powerful together, even if they're plugged into the Matrix, when they're in love, and the programmers of the Matrix know this and use them to their advantage, getting them close to each other without getting them too close, because if they get too close, they become the white light, and it just ruins everything for the Matrix. But anyway, I loved that. The theme was, okay, Neo's gonna do the hard thing and take the red pill again. It's not as easy as the first time. The first time he took the red pill in the first movie, it was easy. On the fourth one, it was much harder. I like that because he's been so programmed, he's forgotten everything. His memories, but he's forgotten. But also the theme was, after that, as he gets unplugged, is to save Trinity. It's a miracle, actually, that from the movie point of view, it's a miracle that they found him plugged into the Matrix, one of whatever million people plugged in. You know how in the Matrix 1, the robots have got them in pods, and somehow the worlds that have been saved by Neo in the real world, which is all dark in it, but they find Neo, and Trinity was right next to him. They didn't have time to save Trinity, and so when he's unplugged, he goes on a mission. He says, "We got to save Trinity," and actually that's the whole point. But it was so truthful and so not a sellout and so honest. It was a return to form. 1 and 4 are the best. 4 is amazing. I loved it. I need to rewatch it because there's a lot of stuff going on with the programming that I didn't understand. I really like the ending too. I have to rewatch the ending because the architect, who's like in charge of the Matrix and the programmer, who's an enemy in number 4, obviously there's a happy ending of sorts. Trinity and Neo are reunited, and now they can create this beautiful world in the Matrix that the architect has sought to destroy and keep people like. But then the architect says something truthful towards the end after he realizes he's lost. He says, well, have I really lost? You're like this, guys. He says, the architect goes, have I really lost? Because the sheeple need. He even said those words. So if you think they've sold out, they're fucking not. They've in the Matrix 4, they've not. The architect goes, the sheeple, because he's created this Matrix. He goes, the sheeple need people to tell them what to do. And for that reason, I'll always have won. I'll always have won in this Matrix. They need people to tell them what to do. I've created this world and they need me. And then the response of Neo and what's her name, Trinity, is, yeah, you're right, but you know what, I'm grateful. We just came here to tell you thank you, because we've given us another chance to unplug and to create a better world, because now they're in charge, not the architect, of creating like another world in the Matrix. I like that truth, because it's almost like we're living in that reality right now. Obviously there's the plugged in and there's the unplugged, and what the architect said is true. Right now, there's loads of people that are plugged in and they need other people to tell them what to do, because life is so hard and complicated. That's why we need people to, we need to do jobs. A lot of people need to do jobs where they're told what to do because life's too hard as it is. People need to be told, looked after by authority figures, because we've forgotten how to look after ourselves because life's so tough anyway. It's tough anyway because it's deliberately set up to be tough, right? Yeah, where am I going with that one? But anyway, yeah, it's like the real world. It's been set up, but then I liked the fact that Neo and Trinity, which I think me and all of you guys have kind of said, yeah, you know what, you're right. There are sheeple out there. They basically said they are sheeple. I acknowledge the fact there are sheeple. You know, life's hard, but you know what? We're unplugged. They're basically saying we're unplugged. We can create this universe, and actually, that's exactly what me and you, all of you guys, are doing. We're creating our own universe. Like, we're not focusing on the bad, the evil, the pedophiles, and all that shit, which is true, because that would just get you depressed. That's actually not the truth of your God-given power and God-given energy and the fact that we're all connected, is it now? That's not actually, that's a one way of seeing the world that keep you down in dumps and fucking separate. But the actual truth is we're all powerful, and like Neo and Trinity, where they get to create the Matrix again towards the end of 4, they get to create this world, you know, sunshine and rainbows. The architect's taking a piss out of them, yeah, but you create your own sunshine and rainbows every day of your life. In fact, all of us here are doing it because we're all on conscious journeys of unplugging. By definition of the start of your journey of unplugging, of which once you start, we all know we take this red pill, it's non-stop, innit? It's non-stop when you start taking a red pill. In other words, what I'm saying is you can't go back. Once you take the red pill, you can't fucking go back. It's all sunshine and roses because you're creating your reality. And by creating your reality, that influences other people's realities, and everyone else in our community is creating their realities, and we all eventually create a beautiful reality for ourselves. You create your own reality. It's amazing. All right, let me read the comments for okay. People say watching it. Yeah, well, I didn't watch your mask. Well, I just say I'm exempt all the time now. I learned that from other people. I don't even bother. No one asks, because they just... But if I do, I'll just say I'm just exempt. I always do. Yep. Love to know your thoughts, Jason, on it. Maybe direct message me then. Did you put it in the comments? I definitely recommend people watch it. The 4, for me, it's the best since the first. There's a lot going on there, and I need to rewatch it because some of it was too complicated. But I like simplicity, and I loved the theme of love between Neo and Trinity. I mean, we can all relate to being in love with somebody and feeling like so powerful, like more powerful than when we're. I mean, yes, we do love ourselves, all that. I'm just saying, love, man, it's a common theme, isn't it? Like, oh God, I can't read these. I like the how do I feel about the merging of man-machine that Neo has created? Yeah, that was interesting too. I like the fact as well, lastly, I'll leave that in 4, the world that Neo, even though Neo got plugged back into the Matrix after the 3rd one, as part of the deal for saving the people in the real world, the unplugged world, from the robots, what happened was the world did become better for the real people, and then some robots actually started to develop compassion and some kind of higher consciousness for the real people that were unplugged. You know, in the robot world, you've seen in number 2 and 3 that was tried to be destroyed. I mean, that world, not in our Matrix world. So there's a synergy in 4, because of what Neo done, where the robots started to help. There was a species of robots that are, you know, it's like life. There's positive spirits and positive entities of all varieties and shapes and sizes in other realities that are working to our good. Nothing to do with us in many other worlds. There's also negative entities of different shapes and sizes and animals or whatever that are in our world that either hinder us or are nothing to do with us on separate realities. So I like all that stuff. It was super interesting. All right, basically, long story short, yes, go and see Matrix 4. It's amazing. I fucking loved it. I'm going to rewatch it. It was moving. It was brilliant. Most of all, I think it's a continuation of the documentary series of Reality of Life. I always find it fascinating. When I was watching it today, I was watching the people in the cinema next to me. I was thinking, are they watching it like it's a documentary? Or are they watching it like entertainment? And I know that's a judgment, but I do wonder, because let's be honest here, it's a big selling blockbuster, and 80% of people are watching it like it's a fucking fantasy, and it's got nothing to do with reality, not realising that they're the ones that are taking the blue pill and the red pill. They're not realising the whole point of the movie is like kind of like a Lord of the Rings hero's journey, where you've got to do the hardest thing you'll ever do in your fucking life, because the hardest thing you, me, and anyone will ever do in their life. Do you know what the hardest thing anyone will do in their life? It's take the red pill. And everyone watching it for entertainment. 80% of people. They'll never take the red pill. They aren't even aware they've taken the blue pill. So if you aren't even aware you swallowed the blue pill, how are you ever going to take the red pill? I'll leave you with that. Good night. Have an amazing